What's up, y'all? It's Muva Chocolate with Lit Beyond DMV, and you are tuned in to Smack Life TV. Okay, my name is Muva Chocolate of Lit Beyond DMV. I am a media personality. I host my own radio show. I host events. I'm like a one-stop shop in the media industry, you could say.
Yeah. What piqued your interest in doing media?
Well, I always wanted to be in the music industry, but behind the scenes, like I'm not a singer or a rapper.
Right.
So I wanted a way to be able to be with the artists, connect with the artists and stuff. I like to talk. So I felt like interviews would be the best way for me to infiltrate the music industry. And then it kind of just snowballed to radio.
So how did that start? What was your first interview like?
My first interview was with DC Top 20. I was working with this guy who knew DJ Anonymous. And DJ Anonymous had this open mic type of event. Mm-hmm. And so they had me in the Sprinter outside. And after each artist would perform, they would come to the Sprinter and do like a one-on-one interview. And I loved it. Like, I loved it so much. So from then on, I've been doing interviews ever since. And that was like back in 2016, 17. So okay. I've been doing it for a while.
Who are some of your influences?
Definitely Dominique the Diva. I love her. Gia Peppers, Angie Martinez. Mm-hmm. I like people who, you know, just are not like your traditional interviewers. They're going to get down, you know, to the nitty gritty of things. So I like people who do that. I don't know if you're familiar with Tax Stone. He's like the godfather of podcasts. So before he went to jail, his podcast was like my Bible. Every Wednesday I was tuning in, and I just loved his realness and just how, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, I just love how people fuck with him. You know, his show, he was doing so many different things on his show. And it was like every single show was lit no matter what he was doing. So, you know, I kind of follow his model, but just give my own Lit Beyond DMV twist to it.
Lit Beyond DMV. Mm-hmm. When did that come into play? And how did it come into play?
So when I wanted to start my podcast, I was looking for a name for it. And at first I started with What's Real DMV. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a little dry. And at the time, lit was like the new lit word. Right, so, you know, I would like to say I was a lit girl at that time. So it was a word that I was using a lot. And, you know, I just ran with it. And I knew I wanted to be eventually at some point beyond this area on a national level. So Lit Beyond DMV just kind of came about.
Right. Muva Chocolate. How did that come about?
So I'm dark skinned, so naturally people are gonna, you know, bring up my chocolate
essence.
Exactly. You know, that was always a thing, like, you know, you're so chocolate, blah, blah. And then I am a mom. So a lot of times when I would post, they would be like, yes, mother. Yeah, I just put the two together.
Okay. And you from this area?
Yeah.
Where you from?
I'm from Silver Spring. Well, my parents are African, so I'm really from Uganda, but I grew up in Silver Spring.
So the artists that you have been interviewing so far, were they mainly DMV based, or is it a mix?
Mainly DMV, yes. Like local artists. Mm-hmm. Some people have, you know, ventured off to do other things outside of the DMV, but you know, this is home, so I'm always gonna root for the home team, the underdog. That is, you know, my preference, really. So I was going to a lot of local artist events and setting up like on the spot interviews. Mm-hmm. So people would come, I would set up my backdrop, and, you know, we would have some stools and talk about, you know, people's careers after their performances or things like that. Yeah, I would say it's home. But, you know, on the national level, I have, you know, interacted with Tamar Braxton, Lamar Odom, when I was featured on the Mike and Donnie show on Fox Soul.
How did you get featured on the Mike and Donnie show?
Their producer found me.
Hey.
Their producer found me on Instagram. I've been doing this radio show since October, and we have the live feed on Instagram. So even though it's a radio show, I do have a visual aspect. And I don't know what hashtag it was, but something led him to my page, and he was just like, your energy is so great, and I love your show, so we would love it if you came, on a show on Fox. So yeah, he literally just hopped in my DM.
How'd that go? How was that experience?
I loved it. I loved interacting with people that I like see on TV, and kind of like seeing people that you feel like are out of your range or out of your league, and they're right with me on the Zoom. Like it was crazy. I loved it, and it just put that battery in my back to keep going and be more on a national level. So look out for me on a national show.
Yeah, I heard of you before, but your name was popping, and it was like a Keys to the City post.
Yes, yes.
So talk about that and how that made you feel with all your supporters. Like,
I was like taken aback because I feel like, the post that said, tag all the hot DMV media outlets, like who does the best interviews. And it was like 100-something comments, and I feel like me and you was running the comments, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like that is lit. And then it leading me to you, I appreciated that because a lot of people would see that like, who the fuck is that? Like, I don't know who Muva Chocolate is. Like, whereas you have more of an established name with like artists and stuff. So the fact that you reached out to me, like, it made me feel so good. Like, maybe the DMV is not as bad as people say, like that crabs in a barrel mentality, because we're working together now. So I was really happy.
Like, we're working with these artists. Have you seen, like, what surprised you with working with the artists, and then what kind of threw you off a little bit with working with artists?
It's not so much the artists. Well, some. I had a little something with a local artist. I'm not going to name them, but like, some people just really be on their high horse.
Right.
Like, we're all trying to get somewhere. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they felt like I was beneath them or what. Like, I don't know. I feel like people focus on the wrong things, like follower count and stuff like that, because my followers don't reflect my views or people who have seen my work. So I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that at all. But then there's artists who are so welcoming and, come here, see the vision, and they're like, I fuck with you. And they put me on to other people and other people. So I would say it's like 60-40, 60 good, 40 bad. What I really have had trouble with is the videographers in the DMV. Oh my God. Like, you don't even know how many interviews I have paid for that I've never seen. Never seen, because they just disappear, once they get their money, or just on some, I don't know, maybe they felt like I was a threat. I don't know. But that's my crabs in a barrel experience in the DMV. The videographers, like, shit is crazy. I have like over $2,000 in the streets with no product back.
Did you listen to Go-Go?
Absolutely.
Okay, you got some top bands?
Backyard for life.
Okay, I hear
Backyard for life. Look, I had Sweet Thing on my show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, check out that interview. She was definitely here. It was a little before my birthday. She sang and everything.
Hey.
So that was a lit episode. So I'm coming for Big G next.
Got to. Got to. What's the vibes of your show like? How would you describe your show?
My show has like something for everybody. I try to get all different kinds of people, and I study them, study their page, study their craft, what they like, what they are always talking about, so that I can always have something special catered just for them. So literally every show is different. Like Gabby from Liddy in the City, she had that day party brand going. You know, outside is not open, so I had the bottle girls with the sparklers so she could feel like she was in VIP, like, you know, stuff like that. There was another artist here who was visiting from, and it was her birthday, and we brought her out a birthday cake with candles and all that and sang to her. I just want people to feel special when they come, and, you know, like, fuck with the vibes. Like, it's a really great vibe. Like, we're gonna get lit. You see I got the bottle here for my show later. Sometimes we have food. I just want people to be comfortable, be themselves, and then we get, like, to the real. Like, I don't want, oh, so when did you fall in love with hip-hop? Like, I don't care about that. Like, I want to know who you are as a person. Like, I feel like if people really know your story, then they fuck with you more. Whatever you're doing, like your music, your art, whatever. When they know you, then, you know, the love for your work is more.
Okay. You got a favorite interview or favorite moment in the interview that you can recall?
Well, definitely Sweet Thing singing was top 2.
Yeah.
There was an artist, or a rap artist who started salsa dancing for me up here. Yes, like literally moved his chair out of the way. We put on some salsa music and his ass started dancing. That shit was fucking hilarious. And Big D, Chicken and Waffles, he came here and he was so timid. Like, just, but he was open and he was like, you know, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it. I'll answer whatever. But when he got up here, I don't know if it was like the cameras and mics and everything, he was just like, yes, no, sure. And I'm just like, oh my God. So we had like a little conversation on the break, and when we came back, he was so lit. And it was like him breaking out of his shell. Like, the audience was going crazy. Like, it was just so awesome. So that was definitely one of my favorites.
Okay. You have an interactive show, like, can people like call in and stuff?
Yes. Okay. People can call in. They can comment in the Instagram comments. We always, you know, bring them up. Any questions or comments that are in there, we always try to make sure we address everyone. And then we also have a live audience, maybe like about 15, 20 people. So, you know, at some point a debate will get going, and it might get crazy in here, but I love it.
Do y'all play music on here?
Yep. If I have musical artists, I'll play their music on that episode. My sister, shout out Your Royal Ziggy, her playlist is unmatched. Everyone who comes here, they're like, yo, you need to make me a playlist. So we try to, you know, make sure the vibes are really going. And, you know, everyone's in a good, feel-good mood. So, yeah, music for sure. If you have any music, I have a DJ here every week. Shout out DJ Pompey. He makes sure the vibes is always, you know, lit.
Your team, like, y'all got a team that put all the show together?
Yes. This is the Hustle 5 Ways studio. That's Nino De Niro, Diego Cheeks, a bunch of them that, you know, support me. And we were kind of in the grind together. So we kind of are like building this place from scratch. And then I have my sisters, my best friend, my man, my cousin. It's like a group of like 5 of us who, you know, assist me and make sure that everything is on point for all the shows. And my photographers, Phototronic and Olat Photography. I would be like nothing without them. Their content that they give me is like on fire.
What's your goals for the show?
My goal is to, like I said, get on a national level and maybe eventually have like a TV talk show. I love the visual aspect. At first, I didn't think I would like being in front of the camera, but I love it. I love getting ready, the glam, just being with whoever I'm interviewing. It's always a good vibe. So, and even the audience interaction. So I feel like a talk show.
You want to be on the lookout for your talk show?
Yes, please. Lit Beyond DMV is coming up.